Hello, welcome. I am Roseep Suit, and today I'm reading Blessed Are They Who Mourn by K.E. Dunleavy. Going to the movie theater was a special occasion when I was a child. One day, my parents took my brothers and me to see the new Winnie the Pooh movie, a treasured memory of mine to this day. Before the movie started, as usual, there was some trailers and a short film. Many of you have seen this short film. It was called The Ballad of Nessie, and was about a friendly dragon who lost her home to a rich man who wanted to build a golf course. She wandered and wandered, searching for even a barrel of water to live by, but was constantly driven away. Each time her eyes would well up with tears, and some animal would harshly tell her not to cry. So she would hold back her tears and carry on. Eventually, she gave in and cried. She cried for days. When she opened her eyes, a watery wonderland lay before her. It is never wrong to be sad, but when we deal with the loss of a loved one, often we are told quite the opposite. In a gesture to make us feel better, people will say, "Do not be sad. They are in a better place," when someone we love dies. In some other situations, people will say the dreaded, "I know how you feel." However, those statements don't do justice to what is going on. Life continues, but we go on feeling off. We have to cope with the fact that we are still a parent, a spouse, a sibling, or a friend, all the while dealing with the emotional hurricane brewing inside. How can we not be sad if we do not take the time to mourn? Jesus said, "Where have you laid him?" They said to him, "Sir, come and see." And Jesus wept. So the Jews said, "See how they loved him." John chapter 11 verses 33 to 36. Christ was fully human, so he felt all the emotions we feel. He knows what it is to mourn because he did it himself. However, he did what a lot of us do not do. He turned to God with it. In fact, the first thing he did was thank God for hearing his prayers. Blessed are they who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Matthew chapter 5 verse 4. There are quite a few different ways to interpret this verse. St. Augustine explained that this mourning that Jesus talked about was a spiritual mourning. A person mourns all that is wrong with the world. These people will be comforted by knowing what good will triumph. In this article, though, I want to focus more on mourning loss. Why does Christ say that those who mourn are blessed and will be comforted? This might be an answer found in the Old Testament. There's an entire book of nothing but mourning poetry, Lamentations. "See, O Lord, how distressed I am. My stomach churns, my heart is wrung within me, because I have been very rebellious. In the street the sword bereaves, in the house it is like death." Lamentations chapter 1 verse 20. In these poems, the author expresses deep sorrow and yet constantly lifts his prayer up to God. His prayers turn from mourning and feeling abandoned to praising and trusting God. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, says my soul. Therefore, I will hope in him. Lamentations chapter 3 verses 24 and 25. Those who mourn will be comforted, Christ promises. However, like anything, that means we have to turn to God. With our mourning and grief, it is so easy to turn away from him, to be angry at him, to walk away because we are angry with him. We don't understand death. It is the unknown aspect of it that makes it seem so sad and frightening. But If we accept that God is our rock and salvation, Psalm 62, we will be comforted. For I know well the plans I have in mind for you, oracle of the Lord, plans for your welfare and not for woe, so as to give you a future of hope. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11. This passage holds a very special place in my heart. I was praying one afternoon, and after I had finished my prayer, I started to clean up my room. Lying beside my bed was a small card with that passage on it. I cannot help but think maybe God was preparing me for the turmoil I was about to experience. Later that day, a police officer came to my door bearing news that my father had died in a state 9 hours away from me. God knows what we will experience and go through. He knows what it will do to us. He assures us of this, that He has our best interest in mind. If we hope in Him and trust in Him, we will be comforted in knowing that we are loved. So by all means, mourn, grieve, cry, but if we are still and to know that He is God, we will be comforted. Alright. No, I'm just taking a little second though. A beautiful article. Okay. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. If you enjoyed the article, there's a link in the description below. You can follow Catholicism Coffee and press the applaud button 50 times. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll do the rest later. That is all, and may God bless.